Have you ever wondered why some people seem impossibly attractive? Not just beautiful or charismatic or glamorous, but properly, I can't get them out of my head, addictive. To try and figure this out, I've spent years asking people who are going through limerence, a mental state of intense romantic infatuation, what it was about the other person that was so intoxicating. In this video, I'm going to show you what I've learned about how someone's personality and behavior can make them abnormally addictive, and how to spot the triggers that work particularly well on you. Hi, my name is Tom Bellamy. I'm a neuroscientist and writer, and I blog all about limerence at livingwithlimerence.com. I'm also the author of the book Smitten, which explains what limerence is, how neuroscience can help us make sense of it, and how to recover from it. Right, so the starting point for understanding attraction is to recognize that we all have our own personal, unique triggers. That's one of the wonderful things about falling in love, of course, that sense of a special connection to a special person who we find unusually magical and bewitching. So let's start with some of those personal stories and look for clues. Case studies in attraction. What makes him special? Kindness, humility, conscience, sense of humor, pragmatism, calmness, and a lively, intelligent mind. And not forgetting he is my boss, and I've come to realize that this really, really does it for me. She was, of course, the most gorgeous person I'd ever met. We began texting occasionally, usually using work-related topics as a starting point. To my surprise, she started sharing emotionally intimate details with me without me prompting her. That's when I began to think, she likes me. He chased me. What a high. He would constantly compliment me on my intelligence and beauty. He sought me out at social gatherings and made plans for us to get together outside of work. I'm not imagining the interest he showed in me, sexually and otherwise. He baited the hook, no doubt about it. So quite different stories and different triggers. But when we encounter a particular kind of person, we feel a spark of connection. Something starts, a glimmer of limerent excitement within us. But it's what happens next that decides whether or not we become truly besotted and become addicted to that other person. While we are all special romantic snowflakes, we're also all made of snow, water. We each have unique desires, but our brains operate in essentially the same way. The fundamental systems that regulate arousal, pleasure, reward, motivation, lust, and attachment follow predictable computational rules. And once we understand those rules, we can start to see that while the details of what we find attractive differ, the processes that reinforce desire and deepen limerence are much less complicated. In fact, it boils down to two big forces in combination: hope and uncertainty. For a glimmer of attraction to turn into the firestorm of limerence, we need to have some hope that we might have a chance with them, that they might be attracted to us too. That's when I began to think, she likes me. He chased me, what a high. Again and again, limerence report the moment when obsession sets in as being when they sense desire in their limerent object. I noticed he was looking at me intensely, and I thought to myself, I think he likes me. Later, he was with a group of guys as I walked over to join them, and I noticed that he turned towards me and looked me straight in the eyes. Our eyes locked. He did not look away. That instant, he became my limerent object. Now, it's important to add at this point that the actual motives of the other person don't matter. You can't read their mind. You could easily be misreading their signals. Their flirting could be innocent fun. Their compliment might just be simple politeness. But your subconscious doesn't do nuance or subtlety. It just gets excited that they're showing interest, openness, building social connection. Your reward system fires off spikes of dopamine to signal a thrilling reward, a possible romantic opportunity. And what happens next depends on the second big factor, uncertainty. If you try to seize that romantic opportunity by declaring your feelings, and you get a clear yes or no from your potential limerent object, your reward system adapts to the new situation. So think of it like this. You're in a casino and you put a coin into a slot machine, pull the handle, and you hit the jackpot. Well, I mean, you'd feel fantastic, but you'd probably also stop playing and just collect your winnings. If, in contrast, you pulled the handle and the slot machine turned off, all the lights went dead and the wheel stopped turning, well, you'd feel pretty cheated and you'd give up. However, if you pulled the handle and got an early win, you might keep going. Maybe you then get some near misses and then another win, but then a run of bad luck and then another small win, and well, that's the sort of pattern that keeps you playing slot machines. In the same way, if you can't directly find out how your limerent object feels about you romantically, maybe there are barriers in place, or maybe because you don't want to risk rejection, or maybe they're giving you mixed messages, that uncertainty is like an addictive slot machine. Your reward system can't adapt. Instead, it sensitizes. You want the reward even more until the wanting becomes irresistible. And at that point, you're addicted. So how can you tell when that sort of thing is happening in real life? What kinds of people and what kinds of behavior create that volatile mix of hope and uncertainty? Must be time for a list. Common addictive behaviors. From all the stories I've read over the years, several common triggers come up again and again as drivers of hope and uncertainty. Again, I'm not saying it's deliberate on the part of the other person. I'm not assigning blame to them or interpreting their motives or suggesting that limerents aren't responsible for how they respond. In fact, that's exactly why these behaviors are so powerful at reinforcing person addiction. They can trigger the glimmer in a vulnerable limerent, but they're also ambiguous and uncertain. So if you have become addicted to someone, see if any of these triggers apply in your case. Number 1, eye contact. This is probably the biggest trigger for limerents. We're very attuned to eye contact. Just a moment or two longer than usual social expectations can really trigger arousal and escalating affection. Unfortunately, eye contact is also very easy to misread. So it may not be attraction, it might be surprise or alarm that's captured their attention. And also, neurodivergent people can have very different behaviors around eye contact, and that can easily be misread by neurotypical limerents. Number 2, physical intimacy. So obviously sexual contact is going to give a pretty big clue that they're interested in you, but also things like touching your arm or elbow or knees or giving hugs can create hope. But there's uncertainty because it might just be friendliness. Number 3, hints of special regard. If somebody seems to really admire you or feel connected to you, so say they seek you out in social settings, or they've come up with a nickname for you, or they invite you to share in their secrets, it suggests that they see you as being in a special category compared to other friends. But how special? Is it romantic or platonic affection that they feel? Number 4, effusive praise. This one is common in a professional setting. A very complimentary boss, a co-worker who praises your ability, a junior colleague who raves about your mentoring. Everyone enjoys praise, but that feeling of pride and gratitude can get a bit confused when social and professional boundaries are blurry. Number 5, good listening skills. It's amazing the power of being heard. It really can make people feel connected and bonded and trusted. For limerents who don't have someone in their life who meets those emotional needs, being listened to can be a surprisingly potent trigger. Number 6, an aura of mystery. Some people seem glamorous, intriguing, mysterious. Perhaps they are well connected or wealthy or have high status jobs. Getting close to them can be intoxicating because you feel like you're in a select group who's being allowed access to them. But often their behavior can also be mercurial or confusing or capricious. Where do you stand? Number 7, unpredictable communication. Sometimes they're texting you into the early hours of the morning, sharing their dreams. Other times, those colourful ticks helpfully tell you that the message has been received, but then 24 hours go by with no response. Hot and cold, mixed messages, hope and uncertainty. Number 8, inconsistent affection. So this is similar to the last, but specifically about signs of affection. So perhaps they sometimes initiate hugs, but then they flinch away if you seek one. Or maybe they show coldness, followed by open-hearted kindness, or interest in your life and dreams, followed by boredom and rudeness. Just like those slot machines, you don't know when you'll win or when you'll lose. Number 9, seeking emotional support. The damsel in distress and the tortured soul are incredibly powerful archetypes for many limerents. Someone seeking your help, your support, and sharing their worries and their struggles will inevitably build intimacy. And that can get very emotionally tangled for people who have a rescue fantasy as a major part of their romantic temperament. Number 10, deliberate manipulation. Finally, it is worth noting that some people do all this deliberately. They get a thrill from hooking others as their romantic pets. And they know how to use hope and uncertainty to manipulate. So the love bombers, the narcissists, the emotional vampires can all get bundled into this last category. They are watching and responding to what triggers you as they plan their heist to plunder your romantic treasure. Thankfully, these last folks are rare. Ultimately, whether you prefer blondes, brunettes, muscly bodies, cuddly bodies, sarcastic humour, or brooding intensity, that's only the starting point for attraction. What makes somebody really addictive is how much hope and uncertainty you experience when you are with them. Unfulfilled desire is potent stuff. You feel hope, but you can't be sure if it's just wishful thinking. That heightens wanting, and it suppresses self-discipline, and that leads into a state of person addiction. So learn to spot the signs if you want to protect yourself. Now, if you're interested in what's actually going on in your brain to make that bewitching romantic spell so powerful, check out this video next on how addiction to another person develops.